Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Magenta Ed's weekly blog. Now, I'm sorry that I missed you guys last week. I actually got a little sick and was not able to put up my weekly videos as I normally would. But I'm back this week, and this week I wanted to go over some important things for high school students, specifically for students who are going to be rising ninth, 10th, 11th, and even 12th graders. And this topic is going to be especially helpful because, of course, we are approaching the end of the school semester, which means summer is ahead of us. And summer, of course, means sunshines and beaches and a lot of fun times, but it also means some preparation. Getting ready for the new school year ahead and just being aware of important things coming up, just so you're as prepared as you can be and equipped with all the information that you need to know before the fall again. So let's start by going over what you need to know as any high school student and what summer months mean for all grade levels. So just to get a head start, summer months are usually great in really getting in some extracurricular activities and summer programs and even volunteer work. As you know, some of the top 3 things that colleges look for aside from grades and of course test scores, is extracurricular activities. Now, that's not just to say you should get into any internship or volunteer work just for the sake of being part of something, but really use the summer months to figure out what your hobbies are, what your skills are, and also what you might want to pursue as a possible major or career. All right, so what I'm going to go over right now is a list of key areas that all high school students, no matter what grade level you're going to be in next year, whether it's a 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade year, these are key points to every high school student's summer. So no matter what grade level you are, once again, these are all areas that everyone should be looking to do this summer. So let's begin. So key things to be planning for over the summer for all high school students, starting with 1, extracurricular activities. Now, these include summer classes, volunteer work, and really just anything that caters to your interests and hobbies, and really just taking it to that next level. And I'll be going over in more detail about exactly how you can do that. But for now, let's move on to the second most important part. The second most important part of the summer months for all high school students is to start searching for colleges and to start keeping a list. You know, keep a mental checklist. Yes, that's fine. But really do start a college journal, if you will, just so you know what kind of schools you've come across or have heard about and what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Because trust me, it's going to be really helpful come senior year when you are actually working on those applications. And hey, this is just a really great way to get to know what college really is about and what you might really want to have in your college experience. Okay, now the third most important thing to keep in mind for all high school students is to start planning ahead. And that means being informed of important test dates and events that are going to be coming up for each year in high school, including in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade years. So that's what I'll be going over next, is I'm going to be going over what the important test dates and events are for each grade of high school so that you can plan your summer months appropriately based on this information that you will have in advance. So I'm going to start by going over what you should know for 10th and 11th grade year. Now, I'm going to start with 10th and 11th grade year and focus on those 2 years because really, when it comes to college application admissions, 10th and 11th grade year are the most important years. And I'll explain why. The main reason why is because the bulk of your core classes and the more important classes are actually taken in 10th and 11th grade years. And so what that means is that a lot of colleges, including UCs, don't even look at 9th grade year grades all that much. I mean, yes, they will still look at them. So it's still very important to do well in it. But when it comes to actual GPA calculation, schools like the UC colleges don't look at 9th grade. They calculate your actual grade point average or GPA based on your 10th grade and 11th grade year grades. So what that means is maybe 9th grade wasn't so challenging. It may have been, easy breezy for some, but really step up your game in 10th and 11th grade years because it is going to get more challenging. But more importantly, those are the 2 grades in which your colleges are actually going to calculate your GPA. So, having said that, the other important aspect or the important things to know about 10th and 11th grade years is that 10th and 11th grade years also when you start taking these standardized tests for colleges. So without wasting any further time, I'm going to be starting with 10th grade, important test dates that are going to be coming up for 10th grade. So if you are a rising 10th grader, you are going to have to plan and know that you are going to have to take the PSAT exam. PSAT exam is not a necessity. It's not required actually, but it's highly recommended. And what PSAT is that it's just simply a practice SAT exam. And colleges do not get access to these scores. They do not get seen by colleges whatsoever. It really purely is just for practice. But even though it's not meant to be seen by colleges, it's still a great idea to take it because it only gives you the upper hand when it comes to the actual SAT test come 11th grade year. And this PSAT test is actually administered in October of the school semester. So right when you start fall semester in September, a month later is when you're going to start taking the PSAT. So start planning for that just so you can, be in the know and have a heads up as to what that exam is about. The second most important test exam coming up in 10th grade is going to be AP exams if you are taking AP courses. Again, if you're not taking any AP courses, you will not have any AP exams to take. But if you are taking AP courses in 10th grade, you will be taking the AP exam in May. So another important thing to keep in mind for rising 10th graders. Now, the third most important test date to keep in mind is that if you are a student taking an AP course, or if you're taking a pre-calculus course in math, pre-calculus, then you're going to want to plan to take the SAT 2, or also known as the SAT subject exams. Now, these subject exams are offered 6 times in the school year, but the more popular test dates as to when students take these exams is usually in May and June. Now, subject tests I did cover very briefly in my previous video, but just to kind of recap, subject exams are not necessarily required by a lot of colleges, but even if they don't require it, it is highly recommended. And that means if you do take it and you do well, you're going to have that extra edge. You're going to have that extra competitive factor going into the application, so you might as well take it. And if you take it and you don't do well, that's okay. You don't have to submit them. So it's a win-win situation. You take it, you do well, perfect. You'll be able to get that edge. If you take it and you don't do well, that's fine. You can just not submit the scores or even retake it as many times as you wish. All right, so good to know. Next, I'm going to be going over what is going to be coming up for 11th graders. Now, 11th grade year is the most important year because this is the year you take the most challenging courses. This is the year you take the standardized test exams. And this is a year that you're actually going to start working on college research and college planning. So let's start with what you're going to be working on as a rising 11th grader and important test dates to keep in mind. So the first thing coming up for all rising 11th graders when you start school in the fall is the PSAT test again. Now, once again, this exam is offered in October, and once again, it is a practice, and so colleges will not be looking at your scores. But one of the benefits of taking the PSAT as an 11th grader and doing very well on them is that you can actually become eligible to become a National Merit Scholar. Now, what that means is that it's basically free money and recognition for those who receive the top highest score for their state on the PSAT. So that's something some students do strive for because, hey, once again, if you do well on it, free money. But again, any score you get, whether it's high or low, good or bad, does not matter. Colleges will not look at it. Now, the second most important thing for 11th grade is the official SAT or ACT exam. Again, I covered this topic in my previous blog, but the SAT or ACT, either or, you don't have to take both. A lot of colleges will require either SAT or ACT, but not both. So you choose which one you want to take. So going back to the test dates for SAT, it's actually offered 7 times in the school year. And they're actually offered in August, October, November, December, March, May, June. You can take it really any time during these months, but of course you don't want to take it until you are absolutely ready to take that official one because these do go on record. Colleges will see them. Now, the second option is if you choose to take the ACT is also offered 7 times in the school year. Now, the ACT is offered on slightly different months, and they're offered in September, October, December, February, April, June, and July. So it's important to plan to take the official SAT or ACT at some point during your 11th grade year at least one time. Now, the other important exam coming up for 11th graders is, of course, same as sophomores. It's the AP exam. AP exams are offered yet again in May for those who are taking the AP courses. Again, if you're not taking AP courses, no worries. You won't have to worry about taking them. But if you are, remember, they're going to be in May. And then the other test date going off of that is the SAT 2 or subject exams once again. Now, the subject exams, once again, you want to match to your AP courses so that, you're taking the exam that you've been preparing for in school anyway. Now, the subject exams are offered 6 times in the school year. They're offered during the same months as the official SAT, except the only month they don't offer it is in March. Of course, the most popular time for students to take it, though, is still May or June. And so those are the most important test dates for rising juniors. It is the PSAT, the main SAT, ACT, as well as subject exams. And then, of course, last but not least, the other important aspect of your junior year is going to be to start researching colleges. Because really, after 11th grade, that's it. You're going to start applying to colleges the year after as a senior. So start making a college list, start researching, and start visiting schools on time during the break time that you have, such as spring break, winter break, and of course, the summer before your senior year. So that was this week's vlog. I sincerely thank all of you for joining me, and I hope you guys all took great notes and that you start out the summer with a bang. But of course, remember to have some fun in the sun as well. And just to let you guys know, if you are looking to get some more insights, some more detailed and more personalized information, how you can actually plan for the summer months, as well as for colleges coming up for rising seniors, well, that's exactly what I do. I do all of the academic planning. I help you find summer programs and organizations. And I also, more importantly, help with the college application process for all rising seniors. I help with the college match list, as well as those college essays that are really important to the college admissions process. So I do exactly that at Magenta Ed. So please visit me if you want to get a more personalized plan and help on all of those areas. You can always reach me at sophia.chang@magentaed.com, or you can always check out my website at www.magentaed.com and fill out that form. Or you can always give me a call, and you can find that information again all on my website. So please join me next week, because next week I do plan to interview a student that I used to work with and how he got into the top schools, including Harvard, Yale, and Stanford, just to name a few. So it should be very exciting. So please visit me again next week, and hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you. Bye-bye.